4 days of celebrations honoring Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne. The longest reign in British history are kicking off this morning. The 96-year-old Queen being commemorated with a 4-day holiday weekend. Formal celebrations began with Trooping of the Colour, an annual military review, before the Queen joined her family for a military flyover. The celebration of Elizabeth's reign also includes a Thanksgiving service tomorrow, a concert at Buckingham Palace on Saturday, and a pageant staged by thousands of performers from across the country on Sunday. And thousands of street parties are planned across England, repeating a tradition that began with the Queen's coronation back in 1953. For more on the significance of this celebration and the future of the royal family, we're joined by Hilary Fordwich. She is a commentator on the British Royals. Always nice to see you. An exciting day there in England. All this pomp and circumstance going on in London. Put in perspective for us exactly how big of an occasion this is there.
Well, Rudabeh, think about this, actually. Pleasure to be back with you as well. This is something that is not just for the British people, in fact, around the world. There's the lighting of the beacons this evening, and that will be in 54 capitals of Commonwealth countries, most of those formerly from the Empire. And they actually want to be part of the Commonwealth, common values, common trade. So the significance is specifically about continuity, about history, about all working together. And I think the world has gone through COVID. Now this opening up, it's a significance for community, not just the royal family, because what the Queen stands for is this historical perspective of peace and prosperity that she has been so gracious and led people through. But also times of war. She is probably one of the only surviving monarchs who was a trained mechanic and a trained lorry driver, that's a truck, in the military. So she's lived through all of that. And throughout, when you think about history, not only for the UK, you talk about furniture, you're talking about Elizabethan furniture, Tudor furniture, you're talking about architecture. It's maybe, from the Edwardian era, from the Elizabethan era. So it's this sense of continuity. And she is projecting that from her messaging also on the balcony with the different generations there. She has Prince Charles, who will succeed her on the balcony with her, as well as Prince William, who will succeed him, and Prince George, who will succeed his father.
And Queen Elizabeth is 96 years old. She's had health concerns in recent months. Does an event like this look towards the future as well as celebrate her accomplishments? And how is she doing health-wise?
Well, she's doing, I think, remarkably well. How many 96-year-olds do any of us know who are still as mobile as she is? What she does have now, is called the Queen Mobile. It's actually sort of a glorified golf cart that she's been taken around the Chelsea Flower Show in. And obviously, she's using a walking stick. We can see her on the balcony. She's leaning on a walking stick. I think for 96 years old, despite her, what the palace is referring to as sporadic mobility issues, she's doing rather well. Most unfortunately, she will miss the Epsom Derby, and that is very important to her soul. She's a great lover of horses, as most people know. But there's many insights I have for her personality, and I don't know if you're interested in some of those, but some unique aspects of her. She's got a great sense of humor, and there are many stories and things I could share about who she really is underneath all this.
Well, I'd love to know who she really is underneath all of this. I know that she loves her dogs. I love that about her.
Yes, well, many years ago, there was the then ascending, when he was the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, he visited Balmoral. And as I just mentioned, the Queen was a trained lorry driver during the Second World War. Well, she offered him a tour of the Balmoral grounds. And as most of our viewers know, in Saudi Arabia, women aren't allowed to drive. Well, the Range Rovers were brought around to the front. He got into the Range Rover, into the front seat, and his interpreter was behind him. Then the Queen got into the driver's seat, and the Queen proceeded to careen around the grounds of Balmoral, through the mountains, through the little lanes, all whilst talking to him at top speed. And from somebody who was there, also her bodyguard in the vehicle, we know firsthand that his interpreter, the then Crown Prince, was urging her and pleading with her to please slow down, madam. Would you like to focus on the road? So she was showing him in her magnificent way.
Well, you can do that when you're the Queen, I guess. When you're Queen Elizabeth, you've been on the throne for 70 years. That's something only she probably could do. Hilary, thank you. I wish we had more time, but we have to run. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome, Rudabeh.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.